Hello and welcome to Anywhere But Here. This is episode 23. This is what you're listening to now is by a group called Saxapella, and they make all their songs using just saxophones. All the percussion and everything. In fact, this song was made on 60 tracks, 60 separate tracks.
And if you can't tell, it is Taylor Swift's popular song, We Are Never, Ever
Getting back together ever again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not entirely
sure.
A
lot of evers.
It's a song that Taylor Swift done about an ex-boyfriend.
Wasn't it that one off One Direction?
That one off of One Direction. I love it when people use that. That one off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was, wasn't it? Because she does the fake English accent.
Yes. No, she did that at the.
She did that at the Brits.
Particular awards. She kind of made it about him, but I'm not sure if that song was about him. I mean, who knows? Who can keep up with that?
But anyway, it's very, very. They're very interesting. It's pretty cool. Like there's 60
very
various tracks. I mean, you can't tell that there are 60 tracks.
No, in this particular video, if you watch it on YouTube, which obviously we will link from our website, it actually shows you how he makes each particular noise, because that's actually just one bloke. Yeah,
it's all one guy layering different saxophone sounds. But yeah, and you can find that on www.abhpod.com.
Yes, we will link to that. It will be the latest episode.
Indeed it will.
Latest post. Although, unless you listen to this a year from now, it won't be.
This is true, yeah. look for episode 23
in the archives.
And we name it after the show, so we don't know what it will be called even. It will be
Not
episode
now.
23.
Yeah.
We just the other things that you can do at the website is we've got a survey to take. If you just click on the top of the homepage there's a survey, which means that what you answer means that we find out more about you, which means we can tailor the show to your needs.
Yeah, it will influence how we do the show.
Yeah. And it has, I think.
I mean, if you don't fancy doing a survey, which we would appreciate more if you could do that, I suppose, you can actually just tweet us your suggestions at ABH Pod on Twitter. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Smooth. Although doesn't the fact that we've pointed it out makes it a terrible
sorry.
thing. Yeah. Although we seem to do it all the time. Yeah, we've got individual Twitters as well. I'm Hey It's Ant.
And I'm Hey It's Me Tom.
And if you don't have a Twitter, you can email us your suggestions.
At AVH
Or if they're longer than 140 character suggestions.
Yeah. If you've got anything that you need to express to us in more than 140 characters, then maybe you want to email us at abhpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
There's always something. Yeah. There's the Amazon banner at the top of the website as well. That if you go to buy stuff off Amazon, then go and click up there and buy your stuff after doing that, because then we get a percentage of what you buy, which is good for us because it means that we can spend money.
I haven't checked that in a long time, actually.
No, I wonder.
Quite a while.
I wonder what it's got up to. Could we have broken £10?
I don't know. We're just still £15 short of our minimum payout.
Yeah, so that'll help us out because it means that we can afford new microphones and other, random expenses.
Business expenses, like parking tickets.
Yeah. That was the caveat on top of all of last week's. If you were listening to last week's episode, if you haven't, go back and listen to it. It's hilarious. But what happened to me afterwards is I left Ant's house and got to the car and there was a parking ticket.
Yes.
On the window. So yeah, that was £25 to Medway District Council.
And luckily, Tom, is it only 25 here?
Only if you pay it within 14 days. Yeah, it would have been £50 otherwise.
Yeah. I was going to say the other thing as well. Tom left his earphones at my house, so he was able to come back and tell me his great news.
Yeah.
He knocked on my door. He left happy. He knocked on my door and he was miserable. And I was just like, oh God.
What's happened now? Someone slashed your tyres?
Yeah, if he parked on the yellow line on the opposite side of the road, he would have been fine. But because he parked in a bay on a Saturday without a permit.
And I'll tell you why I did it as well, is because we
normally record on a Sunday, so it doesn't matter.
So it's not a problem where I park. So yeah. Oh well.
And
such is life.
For those keeping record, we're not recording on Sunday this week either.
Yep, we are we're in the kitchen again.
Yes,
we're on Friday evening now. It's just gone 7:10 on Friday evening.
Yeah.
Andy Murray is on at the moment, and he's beating Ribeiro. Whoever he is.
I don't really follow tennis as much.
No, but it's been quite interesting this year. So far, because all of the top names have gone out, so it means that we might actually get a British champion for the first time since Fred Perry in like the 1920s or something.
Oh, was Fred Perry a tennis player?
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was actually a designer.
No, he was.
I didn't actually realise.
He was a tennis player. He was a British tennis. He's the last English or British tennis player to have won Wimbledon,
which
and
is
it
why
was like 1923.
Which is why his name's so big in England, because he was the last English tennis player to do anything. But you say we might get a British, because Andy Murray's not English. He makes that quite clear. A British champion is. Liz pointed out, like when she was saying about like Federer and Nadal going out, and she was kind of like, but it's a new generation, because her mum pays a lot of attention to tennis. She loves tennis, so Liz has grown up. And she was saying about that being in like a new generation. Yeah. So they're getting older. So the younger people, obviously more stamina or whatever. But obviously Andy Murray falls into that category as well. Yeah. Of being an older tennis player. So there's always that.
Yeah. Is he
it's his best chance, but he is an old.
It's probably one of his last.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, he's taken long enough to get there. Maybe he's just pacing himself.
And he hasn't been doing too bad either. He's won quite a few Grand Slams and stuff this season. Did they do tennis seasons?
Because
well, in the winter they do indoor. So I don't know if it's like a year-round thing. That's what I mean. I don't really pay much attention.
Yeah, I mean, I only really, really pay attention to Wimbledon, if I'm honest. And,
if I'm going to pay any attention to any tennis, it will be Wimbledon.
Yeah, but this year already, you've had Rafa Nadal went out in the first round.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was mental, because he's, it's him and Roger Federer really are the ones who were up for it. I think Murray was the third seed, so he's got a good chance.
Yeah. That's based on how many tournaments you've won in the year,
basically,
isn't it?
yeah.
And Wimbledon's the one that will, if you win that, you get number one.
Yeah, basically, it's the gold standard, if you like. Because Federer went out yesterday, Thursday, or was it Wednesday? Maybe it was Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday.
You've also had Joe Wilfried Tsonga, who was this Frenchman who kind of exploded onto there last year, and he was expected to do quite well. Marin Cilic as well. He's another guy who went out in the second or third round. And
Sharapova went out the other day
women as well. Yeah, exactly.
But did she injure herself? Because we watched the last set, the end of the final set, I think. And she went out and we were like really surprised. But then I think they showed a clip where she actually injured herself.
Yeah, a lot of the players this year are complaining that the courts are too slippery.
Yeah, a lot of them. There is a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, did
I
you
went
see,
on the BBC Interactive thing that says so and so went out with a knee injury, so and so, and I was like, what? The hell?
Loads of them are slipping over and stuff. And Sharapova's been one of the more vocal about the fact that the.
Speaking of Sharapova being vocal,
yeah, we'll have a bit on that in a bit. But yeah, she's been one of the more kind of outspoken ones about it. But now she's out, so. Because the other one who really injured herself was Victoria Azarenka, another Eastern European, because I don't know which.
You're not sure which part, which country in Eastern Europe.
She went down. She essentially did the splits, and she let out this cry, and it just sounded painful. I thought she might have broken something. It was that kind of sound, but actually she got up and won that match. But she went out yesterday or the day before. But I think it was more like she pulled a muscle in the groin or the hamstring or something like that. I know it was around the thigh area. But yeah, so lots of speculation about who's going to go on and win. I mean, the only person really on form who is left in now that could stop Andy Murray and could also face him in the final is Novak Djokovic, who is a past winner as well.
Was he last? I don't know which year.
I don't know. Hold on just a sec. Did Djokovic win last year? Joe?
No. Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
Somebody who pays more attention to Wimbledon than us.
Yeah, we've got Josie in the background watching the Murray match next door.
Yeah, she's going to tweet updates.
Yeah, we'll be kept updated about the state of play.
Or is it going to be ABH that she
in the Murray? I'm not sure. We'll just have to... Oh, no. Murray's got the first set and is 5-3 up in the second against Robredo, not Ribeiro. Okay. Sorry.
Yep.
But yeah, talking about Sharapova being quite vocal, there was the match that she went out in on... That was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Portugal's, what's her name? De Brito.
Sorry.
Have you got it on?
No. That's a story related to what we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay. So have I got the? I've got the thing. The video. I didn't get this ready. I'm sorry. It's the only.
Oh, sorry. The video. Sorry, I thought you meant just the article.
No, it's a video piece.
Yeah, we're great. There it is.
Yeah, this is
No, don't say that to me. Error loading video 4:15. We're gonna need to send this.
I'll pad a little bit more, don't we?
Yeah, please do. Because we need to wait for this to buffer.
But yeah, she was playing against a Portuguese player. I want to say her name is De Brito. And basically they are the two. They've been recorded as the two loudest female players.
None of these videos are loading. It's an error loading video.
Yep.
Hang on. Just give me 2 seconds.
Once again, technology. Oh,
but what are we going to talk about?
Oh, the video's been removed by the user.
Oh, probably because
so we can't use that.
Oh, anyways, but what the video is about?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were going.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna. No, it's about the noises the female tennis players make, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sharapova being one of the more vocal ones.
Yeah. That's so
did you have something you were going to specifically say?
Not particularly. I just had this. I did have a clip, but now it's been taken down. I guess copyright
Yeah, well, I mean, if
issues
you've ever paid any attention to any tennis, you do, especially women's tennis, you do know the noises.
Yeah.
It's why do they do it? It's kind of like a through exertion sort of thing, isn't it?
Well, I think they say it's through exertion, but I think a lot of people against it say that it's more of a kind of distraction tactic.
Oh,
and
okay.
More and more of the women are kind of doing this now. And it's just become a thing almost, it's become acceptable nearly.
Well, you say that. Now, when we had this conversation the other night, I think you tweeted something about it.
Sorry.
So, I think you tweeted something about it, and Liz commented saying that I'd heard something about they were trying to ban it, or I thought they'd ban.
Yeah, noise. That's right. I saw she was talking to Hanny.
Oh, was it Hanny? Sorry,
yeah, and I
you butted in.
Cut in with an advert for our podcast.
Yeah, and we've done a great job of talking about it so far. But yeah, it's I did hear a while ago that they were trying to stop that because it is kind of off-putting. But I did read this. I'm not going to go straight through it. I did read it. But what it was is that the Women's Tennis Association, in their training now, they've put it out there that they're going to try and train women to not make so much noise. So it's kind of like at the minute, the women that are playing at the minute are the last that are going to make that much noise,
see, right.
And like the younger ones who are coming up are going to be trained to not make the noise. And Sharapova is actually one of the supporters of this. Believe it or not.
Really?
It says on here, yeah. Bottom line is the right answer has been taken by the tour.
That's
the information going towards coaches and academies that are developing talent from a young age is teaching them a certain breathing technique, because when you start something from a young age and continue, it's a habit, whether you do grunt or don't grunt.
There we go.
And the interesting thing is, it sounds like they would make it to kind of get more power behind their shot. But from experience of being in the room when like Liz was giving birth, they actually teach you not to make noise.
Oh, really?
Because you can actually get more sort of effort into it if you're not making noise. Like when you make the noise, it's releasing some of your stored up energy.
Yeah.
So it seems like if they didn't make the noise, their shots would be a lot more powerful.
So we'll have to see. We'll have to see with these.
Whether the service and the returns are faster.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Actually, that's an interesting point. Because it does. I mean, it's kind of, I suppose it's a natural thing to make that kind of noise when you're exerting yourself. But if you didn't, if you had more control over it, perhaps, perhaps.
Because you're releasing energy when you make a noise.
Yeah. That is something to think about, isn't it? That's caught my imagination now. Yeah. Interesting.
Just talk about Labour and Tom's imaginations.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm pulling stuff about it.
It's all good. It's all good. It's no worse than last week.
That was terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, that covers tennis. I think that was a segue.
That was
have you got any news from this week?
I've got non-news.
Have you got non-news?
I've got a bit of non. This is a really quick.
The tennis
non-news.
is the news this week. I mean, that's all that's going on really.
Now, have you heard about the Veronica Mars Kickstarter?
Yes.
It was like the biggest thing in the world.
Veronica Mars was a TV show.
Yeah, it got cancelled. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. I should have. It doesn't matter. Everyone knows about it. You can look it up if you want. But the non-news this week is the first picture has been released from the Veronica Mars set from the new film. Would you like to see it?
Let's
like
do
this
it.
is big news.
Oh, a headshot.
Yeah.
Of
Kristen Bell.
That's it.
It's just her looking kind of smoky, kind of like grump, like. That's it.
Moody.
It's just a picture.
Yeah.
I think for the YouTube followers, this is the really important shot that was newsworthy.
Newest shot from the set.
Yeah.
Amazing. That tells us a lot of what's going on. It tells us a lot about the budget. You know, about the production.
Well, we
value.
know the budget because it was the Kickstarter.
Well, yeah. About sorry,
like
I meant
5 million,
I meant the production value. Yeah. They did well out of it.
It seems a lot of their money's being spent on the Party Down cast as well. Did you ever watch Party Down?
No.
Okay, it was it's hilarious. You need to watch it. It was one of the actresses that looks like Zooey Deschanel.
Okay.
Because you know there's like 3 of them.
Yeah. There's her, Olivia Wilde.
And it's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose name escapes me now.
Yeah, but she's in it. But it was about like not a catering company. No, they're like a party planning company. They come in and they do the bar and the food and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they go into scenarios, and it is hilarious. You do need to watch it. But the guys who make Party Down also made Veronica Mars. Like the guy who wrote it and the producer, Dan Etheridge. He's the only one I know because he podcasts on Smodcast Network.
I thought I'd heard the name somewhere.
But he's like the producer on it. And it seems like they've got like most of the main cast from Party Down, and they're now in Veronica Mars. Like they guest starred, but they're returning for this film.
Yeah.
And it's just like a Party Down film will follow shortly after, based on the success of this. But that is the non-news is there is a picture of Kristen Bell,
which, to be fair, could be taken from the TV series for all I know.
Yeah, she's a lot older now.
Yeah,
and she does look older. Not a lot older.
No,
but she looks like an adult rather than a high school student. Like the Veronica Mars TV series was set in high school.
Yeah, that's right.
And this isn't.
No.
But
what does it? It doesn't tell us anything about.
It tells us Kristen Bell is going to be in the Veronica Mars movie, which kind of is a.
That's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
That's what. Like,
she's the central character.
She's Veronica Mars. So.
Unless they were going to choose, a lookalike or something like that. I don't know.
Actually, I was going to say we were talking about the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
I was going to segue into that, but I forgot. But Taylor Swift is like now a target for the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, really?
Because
they just pretty much target anyone, though, don't they? Swedes.
They do have a reason for targeting her.
Okay. All right.
But it's because she works her girl next door country singer shtick while hopping from one young man to the next and strutting across the world stage like a proud whore. So they're now going to picket her August the 3rd concert.
Because she's had a few boyfriends.
Yeah.
I mean, I say a few.
A few. How many songs has she got? That's how many boyfriends she's had.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh.
And her dad's like vulgar as well, apparently.
Okay. I'm not aware of her dad at all.
No.
They must have really done their research. Hate her. Okay.
Yeah.
How many more people are they going to pick it? Essentially, they.
I don't know, but their numbers are dwindling. Like, because in February, like Megan Phelps left with her sister, didn't she?
Oh, did she?
Did you not know this?
No, I didn't know
this
that.
This was like huge news. Like, there was that, and there's nothing from her since. Like, we don't know what she's doing now.
Oh.
Because she was one of the main people that targeted. Like, she was like on social media, Twitter and Facebook.
She was like their PR, their face of PR.
She was like attacking everyone, but she's left now. She so she doesn't talk to them anymore.
How strange.
Yeah.
I suppose there's only so long that you can be that angry at everyone before you burn yourself out. Maybe.
But she was always the one that you kind of look at and you're like, did you ever watch the Louis Theroux documentary on them? And she was the one that was kind of like, she was really vocal, but there was something
you could see
kind of made you think
eyes.
She's actually not.
Yeah, she's not 100% into this. She's doing it because her family, basically.
And actually saying like about she's saying like the Westboro Baptist Church is saying she struts around like a proud whore. Did you see that picture of the Phelps family went to the Red State showing? Did you see the picture of Megan Phelps at that?
She dressed up for it.
Yeah, she's like a short skirt and like a really tight sort of revealing and it's kind of like, how can you say that they're a whore when you let your daughter go out like that? Megan Phelps-Roper is her name.
But then, and she's on Twitter as well.
She's well on Twitter. 22,000 tweets.
I'd imagine the earlier ones would be the most interesting.
Well, she still actually posts like Bible verses and things.
Oh, does she?
She's still like really
she's
religious.
Still religious, but she's
just not hateful.
I see.
Well, as.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are like replies. There's very, very few like of her tweets that she's just put out there. So like you don't know what she's thinking. It's all replies to people.
Oh, I see.
Or retweets.
I get you.
It's
rather like my feed, to be fair.
She's not there's this one. See, this is like less Westboro Baptist Church. It's kind of like a quote attributed to Siri in Boston. You're on your own, bitches.
Right.
Which is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, she put a joke out there.
She's showing her lighter, more.
Yeah, that's from 27th of April. It was quite a long time ago.
That is, yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder whether. I mean, you always wonder what was going to happen to these people if they do leave.
They're
it's
just
like leaving Scientology.
So
are they just going to, are they going to? Were the rest of the Phelps going to go after anyone who defected from the Westboro Baptist Church? Because there's that whole thing.
I don't think they go after anyone. They just kind of cut them off.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you're not our family.
We're going to pick at everything you ever do.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't know. I don't get them.
I don't want to spend any time talking about them all because I don't know enough.
No, me neither. I just know they hate everyone, including Swedes, which I never got the thing with Sweden.
Swedes?
Yeah.
The vegetable?
No, the nation of people.
They don't like Sweden.
Yeah, because Catholics hating on a nation.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll stop there. So, tomorrow, which is Saturday, which for you guys is yesterday.
If you listen on Sunday.
Yep.
Saturday, the 29th.
Yeah, Saturday just gone, 29th of June.
Yes.
Was National Ginger Day.
National Redhead
Day, sorry. I'm using a slang. I'm using a racial slang word. I have a book here. I haven't actually looked through it. It's actually...
You were just handed.
Do you know who it's published by?
Michael Amara.
Yes, it is. It's by a guy called Tim Collins, and it's published by Michael O'Mara Books. Mombooks.com. It's called The Ginger Survival Guide.
They do a lot of survival guides. Is that their thing?
I think it might be,
Taking words from the Westboro Baptist Church. Is that their shtick?
That's their shtick.
Isn't that a Jewish slang shtick?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Said by the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah. Good, isn't it?
The irony.
But, the Ginger Survival Guide, everything the redhead needs to cope in a cruel gingerist world.
Which it is.
Probably
when you're a child.
Yeah, I suppose it is, really. I mean, luckily I never had to live through that.
No, I didn't.
Whole thing. I'm coming into it a little bit now, what with my beard occasionally has flecks of ginger in it, which is a hereditary
friend
thing.
At school.
Yeah.
I was a friend of ginger.
You befriended the ginger. Yeah.
Well, most of the time, but he was a bit of a twat. So when we did have a guy, it wasn't because of his hair; it was because he was an idiot.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, do you?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Are we naming?
No, I don't know how you would know him though.
But there are different shades of ginger.
It's like a paint chart.
We've got it's got like a colour chart type thing there, like off Dulux or something.
Off of Dulux.
Sorry. And it's basically you need to figure out first of all where you fall on the ginger spectrum apparently. So there's blonde. If you're blonde and you've picked up this book, you probably did so by mistake. In fact, you're blonde and you've picked up a book, you probably did so by mistake.
Oh, that's a bit.
It's the gingers hitting back at the blonde.
Oh, okay, I was going to say this is geared towards people that have been bullied for their hair colour
and dead.
And now the first thing in there.
But you see, the gingers, they don't have a big voice of their own. I suppose they are the minority.
Yeah.
So I suppose they've got to get it out in books like this. Brilliant books published by Michael O'Mara.
Which are probably available on Amazon.
I would imagine so. Yeah. And if you click through the banner at the top of our website, then you can pick it up for Yeah,
if you're a redhead and you want to know how to survive in the world.
Yeah, it's properly. I read through this a while back. And it's one of those kind of light-hearted. You can have a good laugh at it.
It's one of Michael O'Mara's funnier. Survival guides.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? If it's strawberry blonde, the term strawberry blonde is often used by ginger traitors seeking to brand themselves as in some way blonde, like that's such a good thing. But you genuinely are a strawberry blonde, fair-haired but with a ginger tint. Golden blonde, your hair lies halfway between strawberry blonde and total ginner.
Ginner?
Yeah.
No, ginger.
I think it's a typo. Yeah. No, it says Ginner.
I was trying to...
You've probably called yourself strawberry blonde to avoid childhood teasing, but call yourself a redhead now. It's more fashionable. Apparently, it's become more fashionable.
Yeah, redhead.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's more acceptable nowadays. Proper ginger. None of this wishy-washy strawberry blonde nonsense for you. You are a proper carrot who looks like their head has been painted by Stelios. Better still, you've probably got pale skin, light eyes, and a smattering of freckles too. Marvellous stuff. Be proud.
That's is it a proper ginger? Is the one that a lot of people will refer to as like a rust ginger, isn't it?
Yeah, this one up here.
Yeah. It's more of a rust. Is that more rust or is this?
It's kind of. I think Auburn ginger is the more rust one. Your hair is slightly darker than the full-on carrot top, but you're still distinctively ginge. Like strawberry blonde, the term Auburn is sometimes used as a euphemism for ginger, as when hair dye manufacturers divide their ginger product range into light, medium, and dark Auburn. Copper ginger. Now we're moving towards the brunette end of this the ginger spectrum. At some point in your life, you've probably been called copper top or Duracell, and been accused of standing in the rain for so long that your hair went rusty.
Oh, there we go. That's the rusty one.
There you go. And then brunette. Sorry, but you're not even a little bit ginger. I know you like to gain some minority group street cred, but you're barking up the wrong tree with this whole ginger thing. Have you thought about becoming a gay?
What?
Because they want to be in a minority, I
suppose. Yeah.
Anyway, but that's the kind of tone of this book.
Yeah, and, that actually sounds really funny.
It is really funny, and you should probably go out and buy it.
Despite the single typo in the whole book.
Yeah. I'm sure there won't be any others. But Michael O'Mara books, mombooks.com.
Yes, and mombooks on Twitter, was it?
Yes, yeah, they are on Twitter as well. I don't think they follow us.
No.
We should get on that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Actually, to be fair, I think when we started dealing with them, we didn't actually have our own show Twitter.
No, I think you're probably right. We should update them on that fact, because we put another advert for one of their books out.
Yeah, we need to get on the other book. What did ever happen to that other book?
What, the Man Skills one?
No, the one before that. Yeah, the one after.
Yeah, the second
Man
one.
Up, yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't as funny.
It was more practical.
It was really, I mean,
good.
Like I mentioned on the podcast after I read through it properly, it scared the crap out of me for the forthcoming 3 Peaks Challenge thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
have
genuinely...
you started training on that?
No. I go to the gym twice a week.
I haven't started training properly on like marathon.
Have you not?
No. I've been running a couple of times. Like I went on...
I saw that you went on a
I think I went last
run the other day.
Saturday and Monday.
There was something that came up on. Like,
Facebook I posted from Nike Plus thing.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear North Korea have actually got a tablet computer for their people now?
Oh, really?
Like they're going into the technological. Technical. I found a word I can't say. Yeah, they're going into technology in North Korea. I'm glad you found a word I can't say.
Brilliant.
Technological. There we are.
Hey.
Yeah, this is a video on the BuzzFeed app. There's a new, like a BuzzFeed app for the iPad. It's pretty good. There's a video about this tablet computer that they're releasing. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's kind of like their version of the iPad. It's pretty cool. It's got a web browser and everything. Oh, There's no Wi-Fi capability though, or 3G, so they can't get on the web.
And do they only have like 3 pages of internet in North Korea?
No, I don't know, but even if they do have any internet, they can't check it on their tablet.
That's ridiculous.
So it's got drawing. It's got like things. I think it might have been a joke, but things like how to draw a flag,
right?
How to march, how to stand in like formation, like part of the joke. But yeah, they got their. This Samjeon. Samjeon, which is actually like a place.
Like, yeah.
It's a place in North Korea.
Okay. So it's been
named after a place, yeah. So their version of the iPhone, it's got everything you'd expect in a great new tablet except internet, which basically means it's a giant touchscreen device that comes preloaded with government propaganda and an Angry Birds rip-off.
Hey.
Yeah, everyone needs Angry Birds.
And I'm sure will only actually be available to about 5% of the country anyway.
Yeah, those who live in Pyongyang.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where the electricity is.
Yes. I was right, bloody hell.
Yeah. We're learning stuff.
Yeah.
About
retaining stuff.
Retaining, yeah.
Which kind of gets me kind of onto my ABC.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do the ABCs now.
Yeah. Since we missed it last week.
Yeah, we didn't do it last week. Oh, actually, shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, no, actually.
This is a good point.
We were supposed to shout out.
We've had a few emails over the last couple of weeks. And I was going to mention, because the reason that I bring this up is because we got an email from Joe,
our number one fan.
Our number one fan.
Who's actually getting a preview of this podcast.
Indeed, she is. Yeah, she's hearing it live, which is weird. It's titled "Plea from a Diehard ABH Fan," which she is. And it reads, "Dear ABH, please, 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 please. Could you make the next few episodes shorter? This is because your record-breaking show of the 22nd of June is too big for me to download to my phone. My phone may be a crapberry, but it's got all your other stuff on it.
Yeah.
A hopeful thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're planning on being shorter than an hour and a half this week.
Yeah. Well, no, we've been shorter than an hour and a half on the last two.
Yeah, true.
About 8 minutes.
So yeah, so we're never going to do another episode that's that long, I don't think.
Possibly not. I have actually preferred those because it gives us longer.
True.
And I do like doing it, but it is a bit too long.
Especially if people are downloading on phones and mobile devices and stuff
which
like
a lot of people do.
So it's something to keep in mind.
iPhones and stuff, which are slightly more capacity than BlackBerries. But
oh, that's not the one.
Is that not? Yes, it is.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, if you click on the top.
Oh, yeah.
No, click on this.
So it is.
There we go.
So yeah, 2 weeks ago now, the 19th of June, that's 9 days ago.
It was a while ago.
We got an email from a new listener.
He's a new listener, but he's an old friend.
Yes, his name's Philip Clark. And he emailed us to say, bahaha.
Yeah.
It was me who bought Man Skills. Sorry you didn't get paid, but 1p for the hardback or £30 for the paperback. I'm no fool. And I agree with him.
Yes. I think you actually said on the podcast.
On the episode itself, I said, it's quite expensive because it's not in print anymore.
No.
So, you won't get a new copy of it. So, yeah, good idea. I think I might have got mine secondhand anyway. Yeah, if it's not, I went to bookshop specifically to try and find it, and they don't sell it. So
no, it's like I said to him when I emailed him back. It's just nice to know that a constant barrage of adverts and stuff works. Like, not only did he buy the book we were talking about, he brought it through our banner,
and we believe he took the survey as well at the top of the
website.
I think
so, yeah.
But we're not sure.
We think he's the one that done the quote.
Yeah.
That
gave the quote. Kills time like a boss, which we used. We haven't had any quotes this week,
or last week.
He goes on to say, also, I can't help but think that Adele's services to music may well be that she has only released 2 albums. and that those 2 albums are pretty good, I suppose.
No, I think he's being sarcastic. Like, her contribution to music is that she's only done.
See.
Depends where you place the emphasis.
Exactly, which is another thing.
Yeah.
Really enjoying the podcast, guys. Feel free to give me a shout out, because Lord knows that HBO never read out the email I send them, and keep up the good work.
HBO, for those who don't know, is Hollywood Babylon.
Yes.
Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman, which, if you don't listen, you really do need to.
It is hilarious. P.S. Glad to notice that your later episodes rely a lot less on just reading Wikipedia at us. You are both being more natural to yourselves, and it's paying off big time.
Which is probably
really nice.
A really good quote.
Yeah.
Which, that really caught me, because I've got to be honest, Phil is probably one of the nicest blokes I've ever met.
True. I don't know him
like
that well,
gentle giant.
Personally.
He's a big guy, but he's like really nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
And, we appreciate
both of us emailing him back separately.
Certainly, yeah. We both did email him back separately, and now we're putting it out on,
because
it's a week late.
Because I did promise we would read it.
Yeah.
We mentioned him last week. But after the shambles
that was last week. Yeah.
I'm sure he would forgive us.
Yeah, so sorry, Phil, for not reading it out last week, but we get around to these things eventually. Yeah. It's like that top 5 lists of actors and stuff, which I haven't done anything for that comedy thing.
And it's like the guy that we said we'd make our episode shorter too.
Yep.
And then proceeded to make 2 hour and 20-minute episodes.
But we will endeavour to make them about an hour from now on, which means we should crack on, I suppose.
But thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Joe, as well, for letting us know that actually putting out long episodes is not good for everyone.
No, it probably does hurt us a little bit.
Yeah.
Without even realising it. But you can, I don't know if it's available on BlackBerry, but you can actually get a Stitcher app which streams the podcast rather than having to download them.
This is true.
So if you've got a data connection, you can stream them.
There you go. We're definitely on Stitcher too.
Definitely on Android and iPhones. I'm not sure if it's on BlackBerry.
Cool beans.
That might not help you at all, Joe. Sorry.
Who knows? We'll have a look.
Yes, so shall we get into the ABCs? Because it was about retaining information.
Yes.
Right. I remembered what it was that we were going to talk about.
Yes.
I need to turn this up.
Yep.
I'm remembering everything this week.
Put the thing down.
Does it need to be? No, it doesn't need to be.
Go.
I don't think. Oh, you've scared me now.
Go.
Let's go.
The ABCs of ABH. What letters today?
L. Which is a weird letter to say.
Yeah, because our accents naturally make us want to say L.
L. But we can't do that because we're trying to do it properly. We're trying to pronounce.
We're broadcasters, don't you know?
Properly.
Yeah, we're broadcasters. Right, L for me. Should we go me or should we go?
No, you do it because it links in from your thing.
Yes. So I was talking about retaining information. My L. There is an app. This is more of a. This is another one of those stretches.
Right.
There's going to be an app which will lead on to a bigger conversation that I kind of want to have.
Okay.
But the app itself is called Lumosity, which is on
I've heard
the iPhone and probably Android as well. Which it's like the brain training thing.
Oh, right.
You do. It's just like a few games where you have to sort things and you have to swipe the screen in certain directions. And there's this one where it kind of gives you 2 colour names. Mm-hmm. And they're in a different colour. And you need to say if the top one is coloured red.
Oh, I see.
But like it says black, but it's coloured red. And the bottom one says black and it's coloured black. It's kind of one of these weird things where you've got to read the top word, and if it matches the colour of the bottom word, you say yes or no.
Okay. So I think I've taken these tests
it's really
in the past.
You have to be quick.
Yeah.
And it's really confusing. Like it sees how much attention you're paying, how quickly you can process information, and there's sort of things like you've got to count things, and then it moves, and you've got to count, and like memorising the order of tiles and stuff. It's all about sort of training your brain, and those sorts of apps. It's like does it help me or not? There's no sort of scenarios in real life.
Because you've got a short-term memory problem anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that some point.
Yeah.
But not now.
Later.
Yeah, another time.
Sorry, I put you off. Sorry.
But yeah, it's kind of like I can tell when I use this daily, I can tell that I'm getting better at those particular games, those particular things.
I see.
But it's hard to test in real life because they're not scenarios you would normally.
Yeah, it's more kind of training, not the subconscious, but it's that particular skill is not something that you actually use on its own
in daily life sort of thing. It kind of helps certain tasks you do, like problem solving and stuff. So you might not realise it that you're getting better at certain things, but you are. And like when I say the sort of the more bigger, what was I saying? The bigger subject I wanted to talk about is kind of like improving your life skills,
right?
Sort of like, but with your brain.
Okay.
So I'm trying to tie it in with a letter, but it's not. It's kind of bettering yourself as a person. There's like another app I found this week, which isn't an L app, but it's kind of like Superbetter. It's to deal with stuff like anxiety and memory loss problems.
Okay.
Could be handy for me because I've got short term. I don't know if I've
got a short term memory problem. Yeah.
But this is they kind of done it. It was after I watched the TED. That was the L that I was going to talk about. You remember I said like last week there was an L, but I forgot it. It's Life Hacks. It's a TED Talks series called Life Hacks.
Okay.
That's the better L that I would like to talk about.
We can change it halfway through.
It doesn't matter. But it kind of ties in with the same thing. Because that particular series is about bettering your life. That's what it's called, Life Hacks, but it's making things easier. But one was this particular game designer. She's a woman who had like this horrific accident and she got a concussion.
Right.
And she found while she was laying in bed that she was getting really depressed and having suicidal thoughts, which was not in her sort of personality at all. So being a game designer, she kind of devised the sort of game she could play with herself.
Oh, right.
She wasn't allowed to use computers, like go on computer games like the Xbox or the PlayStation, because it would stimulate her brain too much and could cause her problems. So she came up with like a simple, sort of like a role-playing game that she would play, and she involved her sister.
Right.
And rather than asking her sister for help, she was kind of like, "Oh, can you play this game with me?" sort of thing. So it was a way of asking for help. And she actually made an app out of it, which is this Superbetter thing. It's like an RPG, so you get like 3 power-ups that you have to do a day.
Okay.
And you've got like bad guys that you have to battle, and you've got 3 quests to do a day.
Okay.
And they all relate sort of to things you could do. Like you get power packs. Yeah, and there's ones for anxiety, one for social anxiety, one for general anxiety, one for concussion, one to help you give up sort of things, and they give you different quests and power-ups. So like simple things like chug a glass of water.
Okay.
Which is something I do daily anyway, but the fact that like I've done it, and I did this, it kind of gives you a boost in confidence, like I've done something for myself.
I see. So
rather than just drinking water and that's part of my day, you kind of drink a glass of, I've done something healthy today.
Yeah. Oh, so it's one of those things kind of because you've acknowledged the fact that you've done something, it makes you feel better inside for doing something, and they've I get like how it works.
This whole human tag, which is kind of like do something positive, contact someone or phone someone that you care about, blah blah blah, and that's part of the social side of it. So like rather than kind of like I read texts from people and I'll text them back later, and I never do.
Yeah.
Which you've been on the receiving end.
We're both guilty of that.
But this one, it kind of like I kind of read, what can I do? Oh, that looks alright. And then I went into our ABH emails and I saw the email from Phil. I'm going to email him back straight away. So I've done that power up.
Oh, nice.
Kind of like, and then I posted about it on Facebook. I've actually done it. Bad guys.
Well, that's it. And I suppose if it makes you want to broadcast the fact that you've done something as well, then that's a sign that you feel proud to have done it. If you're like, you know.
And there's like battling bad guys.
Is it positive affirmation or
it's positive reinforcement?
That's it, yeah.
Sort of, but a kind of affirmation because you're yeah.
Sorry.
There's this one because I keep saying about I want to do a vlog, but I always get bad. And there's this one thing. It's called The Pitfall of Perfection, which is a bad guy. You only have to do one bad guy a day. And this one is kind of like Pitfall of Perfection is remember nobody's perfect. Kind of try and remember that, so kind of do it and put it out there. And what the worst thing that can happen is someone goes, I don't like that. Like, and nobody's perfect. Everyone's got flaws.
That's true.
So don't be scared to do it.
Okay.
So kind of like I kind of want to do it, and then kind of I've done that one. Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's just a really good app, and it does help you. It's kind of weird. Like I've noticed as well, there's sort of things like simple power-ups. Smile at someone.
Yeah.
Smile at someone you don't know.
Yeah. Stuff that you kind of wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it normally. Like I work at a machine and it's kind of like a heavily trafficked area. People walk past all the time, and I generally only say hello to people that I've spoken to. But because of that, I've kind of started saying hello to people that I wouldn't normally say hello to, but they always walk past.
Yeah.
Usually make eye contact with them, turn away, carry on with my work. But I've kind of looked at them and said, "Are you alright?" Just simple things like that, and they say hello back to me. And then I've noticed by doing that, And I think it's kind of changed my attitude slightly, like rather than looking at people kind of looking awkward and turning away.
Yeah.
Now I will look at someone as they walk past and they would say hello first.
Yeah.
Rather than me saying hello first.
Because that look
I'm putting that out there. Yeah. And it's just weird. And because they've said hello first, it makes me go, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
there you go.
It's just really weird. And that I've noticed from life hacks on TED Talks, which if you've never watched a TED Talk,
we've put a TED one up on the North Korea one that we did,
North
didn't
Korea
we?
episode, dictators,
dictators and something else.
Yeah.
They're really, really interesting talks. It's basically where someone gives a lecture on a specific topic.
Yeah, and this these it's on Netflix. They do sort of series. They kind of put together sort of talks that go together, and like they've got like a technology one. They've got this life hacks one, which is people talking about, like I'd say, like this woman spoke about that, but everyone else kind of how to improve. There's one about how in your mind when you're trying to convince yourself I am better than this, I'm sort of like, but there's a woman who done a study in like your posture, like your body language can affect how you are as well, how people perceive you, but how you feel about yourself. Like when you're sitting in an interview room, if you kind of sit like that, you're kind of
hunched over,
closing yourself off,
hunched over, arms folded.
But if you kind of sit, kind of relax, and you lay back, and you're like, it kind of makes you feel more
in control.
So it's if you sit sort of closed up, it like raises your estrogen levels, which is kind of like has a negative effect, sort of. It's not masculine. Like if you sit relaxed and like that, it raises your testosterone levels, which has a lot to do with your confidence.
Okay.
So they actually did do this study where they took swabs off of people and told them to sit a certain way, and then they took swabs afterwards, and their estrogen and their testosterone levels would rise or fall depending on how they were sitting or how they were standing. So that one's really interesting as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the app is called.
The app, that one is Superbetter.
Yeah, but it all.
The one before was Lumosity, which is the brain power one. But the one about sort of boosting your confidence was called Superbetter. It is like £2.99.
Right.
Which, because of like how the App Store works, people think that's expensive because most apps are only 69p.
But if you think about it,
it's £2.99. It's kind of like.
And if it makes you a more confident person, you can go into that interview.
Control
and
your
get
anxiety as well. Like I have slight anxiety issues. And there's like a certain thing, it's like next time you feel anxious, like pay attention to what's happening to your body.
Yeah, and then
like at the time, you kind of like pay attention. How's it making you feel?
Yeah.
You know what? And there's another thing like, sort of coming up with thinking about the difference between fear and anxiety. And anxiety is like a perceived thing, like it could happen.
Yeah.
What if it happened? And it's not likely to. Whereas fear, and it kind of lingers with you. Whereas fear of something goes away when you stop thinking about it. Like you could kind of be crossing the road and a car's coming towards you. Oh shit, I didn't see that car. You get scared, you get out of the way and you're like, that's gone. Whereas anxiety, like with my ones, I could be laying in bed and I would feel like, oh, if we go down to Devon again, we'll walk along the cliffs. No, we could walk along the cliffs. Oh, what would happen if Chloe would fall off the cliffs? How? And then I start really getting scared and kind of really like, oh shit, I need to go and check on her to make sure she's alright. That's fucking horrible. It is horrible. Yeah. But this kind of helps with that because when I'm doing it, I'm kind of like, oh, what shit? That's not going to happen, you dickhead. Just go to sleep.
You can put it out of your mind a lot easier.
Because I'm aware of it. And I'm aware of what it's doing to me.
Yeah. So $2.99 for peace of mind.
Or $4.99. It'll probably be $5 in America.
Yeah, probably.
That's how it usually works.
But you can't really say much about that, can you? Much more.
So I'm
about
laughing
that.
at Liz's tweet. It's about Despicable Me because she's obviously watching that with Chloe because we're going to go and see Despicable Me 2 tomorrow.
Which is quite cool.
Light bulb. That's Steve Carell, isn't it?
It is, indeed.
Yeah, so your L. I actually took my L and went with it.
Well,
I've never done that before.
That's the point, isn't it? You know, my L, I'm going to talk much less on my L because it's another motor racing thing.
So that's your...
It happened, what was it, last weekend, in fact. It was the Le Mans 24-hour endurance race held in France each year. It's the 91st meet this year it was. Officially it's the 85th, I think.
Right.
I think it's
only
before
it was kind of like an amateurish.
It's endorsed by the FIA for the last 80-something years, which in itself is a long time. It's longer than Formula One has been around. Formula One's been around since the 50s.
And
whereas this has been around since...
How many drivers there? Like
Lots.
Sorry.
All that many.
No, I mean like for each team.
Oh, I see. Each team has 3 drivers.
It's 3.
So if you think about dividing 24 by 3, this is a bad idea.
I don't think it's an even.
But no, they all, they do their stints. They pull into the pit lane. They switch over drivers as well as changing tyres.
Yeah, and they're not literally kind of driving for
24 hours.
No, I mean like it's 3 drivers. They don't do their third and then the next person does their third.
No,
they kind of do a couple of hours each. And they just keep swapping backwards and forwards. Who feels like they could do it? I'll go.
Sure, it's strictly kind of.
They'll have restrictions
like
on how often they can change.
There's only so many minutes or so many hours or something that you can drive, because it's a race at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're trying to go as fast as possible around this track, which is about 8.5 miles long anyway.
Yeah.
And it's on a mixture of professional race circuit and streets. So you've got this kind of really, I mean, the actual circuit that it's on, the Circuit de la Sarthe, or Circuit perhaps, because it's French. Is like top grade. It's at the FIA, the top grade of the FIA kind of ruling on these things, like all the tarmac and the curbing and the safety around it is 100%. But once you get out onto the road section of it, the roads are crowned, there are bumps,
potholes.
There aren't as well. You'd hope not, but you never know. The barriers and that aren't quite as safe around there. I mean, this year it was a Briton, Alan McNish was one of the 3 drivers that won.
That's one. Motor racing is one of the things Brits can do.
Yeah, it's one of the things we're
even
actually
in like
quite good at.
Even in bikes as well.
Yeah. We've got a pretty good at that and sailing, I suppose. But then we don't tend to win the round the world races quite so much, do we?
No.
But yeah, he won along with a Frenchman, I don't know how to pronounce that name, Loïc Duval, and a Danishman, Tom Christensen, in an Audi. There are 4 different classes as well, but I won't go into those. There's 4 different types of car, and they all have their own, they all can win their separate class. But the big thing that's kind of marred this year's one was that on, I think, the 3rd lap.
Yeah, you just tweeted it out. It was very, very early on.
Yeah, really early.
Where's it gone?
It was there a minute ago. One of the drivers in the lower down divisions, the amateur division, in fact, a guy called Alan Simonson. He was Danish, and he crashed out completely. Unforced error, because I've seen the footage from the car that was behind him as he went off, and it just kind of the car fishtails a little bit and then veers off, but he was doing more than 100 miles an hour when he hit the barrier, and he unfortunately died. The first driver who's died on the Le Mans in about 27 years.
Jesus. So it was obviously going to be,
but it was out in the street circuit part of the course where the barriers aren't so safe.
Probably more sturdy, because that's the thing with the newer crash barriers. They've got a lot more give in them, so they kind of slow the car down. They're
kind of made of
them.
Plastic rather than anything else, and they've got a lot of crumpled zones inside them, and they totally deform. Yeah,
they slow the car down rather than stop it.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas I imagine the ones out on the streets are the ones you find on the side of motorways, the dual carriageways, where they just
steel barriers.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awful. And they took, I think, weirdly, because it's a 24-hour race, everything's so much more elongated, but they needed to fix the barriers and the safety car period, where all the cars follow the safety car at a certain speed around the course, took 20 minutes.
Which it's probably like less than a lap.
It was just a thing that I forgot to talk about the other week, actually.
It kind of worked out though.
It's a really prestigious race, but this horrible thing happened, and it's kind of brought into focus like safety around there as well.
Around the non-race
you have a look at some
stuff.
of the crashes that they've had there over the years, and you wonder how more people haven't died since the 80s. Mark Webber, for example, he's a Formula 1 driver now, but one weekend he flipped his car over twice on the weekend. Like the nose comes up because of the bumps on the road. It screws with the aerodynamics of the car, so it gets underneath, and they literally fly.
Like when you see drag racers crash.
When they go right up in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of videos that you can find on YouTube of drivers who.
If you're one of these weird people that likes to go on and search for Le Mans crashes or F1 crashes.
none of them are fatal.
No.
But there are pictures, live pictures of cars going 30 feet in the air once because essentially what they are is a wing with wheels. So if air does get underneath it, it propels the car up.
Yeah, because they're designed in such a way that as they're driving along, the air is forcing them into the floor.
But if the air gets underneath,
because of the speeds they're going.
Yeah, and actually Webber's done it in Formula 1 as well, where he's put nose over tail. And the guy should have died so many years ago. It's unreal. But yeah, unfortunately, Alan Simonson did, and not from one of the most spectacular crashes either. But it's just down to the design of the and they're saying that it would cost so much money to put these Tech Pro barriers around the outside.
So they'd rather lose a life than money.
I think they're going to have to be forced into it.
Or they're going to have to find some way of
doing it like a charitable thing.
It always takes someone dying to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
once Senna died, they completely
no
changed
one
the
else has
safety
died
rules.
in Formula 1 since Senna.
But it took one of the top drivers dying.
Exactly.
Did you know? Or was you involved in this where I almost worked on a Le Mans pit crew?
No.
Like I wouldn't have been doing I would have been like a T-boy or something for the engineers. But our friend, Fred, he's an engineer.
Because he's
done it.
Yeah, because he used to work for Formula 1 as well.
But he was kind of like, if, would you want a free trip to France? Kind of, well, depends. He was like, to Le Mans, like for the 24 hours. I was like, yeah. He's kind of, because, we've got a couple of people that aren't sure if they're going to be able to do it. So we're kind of on standby, if you want. I was kind of, all right then. And obviously it never came about, and Fred never went either.
No.
I don't think. But he's done it before where he's kind of on standby just in case somebody else.
Oh, right.
It was kind of cool, and it was kind of exciting, sort of.
I was talking to him about
it. It's like just pay Eurostar fare, and then the rest of it's totally free. You're like, wow.
Fair play. No, because I was talking to him about motor racing a little while ago after I did the Formula 1 thing on the F.
Yeah, because he was quite happy. He likes the fact you were passionate about something. I got a bit
passionate about it, yeah. And he was saying that he was involved with Formula 1 at a time that I was watching Formula 1. So it was really, really weird, back in the early 2000s, I believe. He was head race technician as well to a guy called Heinz Harald Frentzen, which basically means that he's the guy
I think I know
controlling.
That,
yeah, he was quite big.
I think that's one about the time that me and my dad used to watch together a lot.
I couldn't tell you who he teammated or what team.
No.
There's a name I Fred worked for Arrows, which is the one that Damon Hill set up after he won. And basically there's a whole story there about how Arrows went under because their team boss was a bit of a prick. But
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, maybe we'll get Fred on to talk about it at some point.
Well, I don't know. We are close to our hour.
We are close to the hour.
Next week.
I wanted to do that Russell Brand thing so bad.
Next week.
But it's got we'll have to do.
Like you said, it's like an 11-minute video that you want to start and stop.
Yeah. So we'll do that next week. What I have got one last quick thing. Craigslist. On HuffPost I found this week there was a man advertised his services on Craigslist to fix laptops for women or computers for women, but it was in the personal ad section,
which is a bit odd.
Which is
for
odd,
a laptop repair service,
because you think that would be in the services bit or whatever it is, the tech part of whatever of Craigslist, but his advertisement reads, hello ladies, are you having issues with your computer and tired of someone else making it worse? Let's talk. I do laptop and desktop repair. I have an associate's degree in computer electronics.
Not English.
No. Dell is my speciality, but I do have experience in many brands.
Sorry, you can't be specific to a particular... Like, I'm quite...
picky
I know
about
about technology. You cannot be specific to
a manufacturer.
A manufacturer. They
basically the same under the plastic.
Like if you can fix one, you can probably fix a lot. Like I've never had experience repairing laptops, but I could open up a laptop and know what most of it is because I've done desktops and built desktop PCs.
But this guy, Dell,
specialises in Dell, right? Unless it's something to do with the software.
Maybe.
Because I know...
Aren't they the ones
they do lock it in.
Yeah.
With certain brands, like I've got an Acer laptop and they have software and like, you know, specific... Like my operating system disk that would have come with my Acer laptop, I wouldn't be able to use on yours.
No.
Because yours isn't an Acer.
Mine's Toshiba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do lock the software specific to, you know...
They do indeed.
Yeah, let's carry on with this.
I don't think that's really what he's on about in this, though. We'll find out where he's going with this.
Is Dell a person?
I fix your computer, you fix me. Just a normal guy needing some companionship. Please let me know what the problem is and your pick. Now, I don't know whether that's the pick of the problem, like the computer or the laptop.
Yeah, my screen's cracked. Send him that.
He's not specific enough there.
No. Well, it's in personals and he's asking for picks.
True. I do have to be attracted to you for this to work. Your pick gets mine if I like. Age 25-ish to 45-ish. HWP, please. I don't know what HWP...
Home... Something with something, that'd be.
And he says curvy is fine. So, you know, he likes the fuller-figured woman too. He's not ruling that out.
So that HWP, there's those things.
I don't understand.
Like,
I know GSOH is good sense of humour.
Yeah, and M4W. Man for woman.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
The interesting ones is when you get MM4W.
Yeah.
Like.
Weird. I will be honest with you about your computer.
Oh, that's right.
Thanks. You're not.
So he's not going to stitch you up.
He's not just out for a quick one.
He's actually going to fix your computer.
Well, apparently so. If he fixes your computer, you get to fix
that
him.
is a very specific thing, isn't it? Like you're on the personals and you're kind of like looking through it. Oh well, my computer needs fixing,
I would
want.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very niche, isn't it?
Yeah, I do not believe to lying in anyone. I do not believe in lying to anyone. Sorry.
Oh, okay. English definitely wasn't his major.
If I am unable to fix, you do not owe me anything.
Wow.
So he's quite confident about his ability
to fix computers.
If the payment for fixing the computer is whatever he wants, apparently. I mean, he doesn't specify anything particular. Just companionship.
Yeah.
I am a white male, 40, 6'2", clean.
25-year-old wants their laptop repaired. There's a 40-year-old guy that's
brown hair, green eyes, and I am a gentleman and can be discreet. So is he after the stay at home?
What's this like? If you don't ask him to be discreet, he's going to go and shout about it. I can be discreet.
I am not married and no attachments. This is not a joke. I am very serious. I am good at what I do and enjoy helping people, and I believe in the barter system.
You need a RAM upgrade. What's that worth?
Feel free to ask questions.
Sorry.
Like how much work would he need to do for a hand job versus full sex?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll defrag your hard drive if you just tug me.
Feel free to ask questions. Put repair trade in subject line to avoid spam. This guy just sounds so needy. I just thought this was fun after our walrus thing last week.
Yeah, so no doubt in about 2 weeks' time, Smodcast are going to take it and do a much better job.
Make it funnier, yeah. So yeah, bit strange. I don't know where in America that is, but I suppose if he's in your area, you need
look him up.
Your laptop fixed and don't have much in the way of money to pay him. Give it a go. But yeah, there are some people. There are some strange things out there, aren't there?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just thought I'd go out on that. Really, you know.
It's definitely.
Oh, game, set, and match Murray. 3 sets to love. Nice. There you go. Andy Murray has basically started and ended his game in the time that we've been setting up and recording this podcast.
And you already know.
Yeah. Although
because it's the day after.
2 days.
You found out yesterday.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, you found out 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Anyway.
Yeah. This is Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. It'll go.
He's
up
playing on Friday, not tomorrow. He's already played.
Right. So for this week, that's been Anywhere But Here this week. Episode 23.
23.
Almost half a year.
6 away. 3 away from half a year.
Yeah. I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Bye.